Because life is hard enough, ladies and gentlemen. Life is hard enough. And then when you get with somebody, it's like, you're not supposed to, in my mind, when you're with somebody, you don't supposed to make life harder. You're supposed to make life simpler. Or it's supposed to be some form of support. If I ain't got it financially, I know you got to help me. If I only got $50, I need another 50. You got me. If I only got 30, you got 70. If you can cook, I can clean. If you can take out the trash, I can wash the dishes, vice versa. Like, but that right there, you gotta hold the whole burden by yourself. I can only imagine.
For me, I feel like we all start from somewhere and we go through certain motions because it builds character.
I like that. I'm jealous of you guys. I wish I had that mindset. Like, I traveled to third world countries to kind of see what it's like, but I still can't put myself like totally in that spot.
I feel like, you make more
I should
money,
pay more in taxes.
You do have to pay somewhat more, but I don't feel like we deserve extra things to pay just because we have more money. Like, we shouldn't be looked to as like a fund, from the government or someone else who just feels like, oh, you have more money, you should pay more in taxes.
I just feel like there should be a little bit more freedom with it because it's really, really stressful. And I feel like a lot of businesses fail in the first 3 years because of taxes, not because they're bad at business, not because they're bad at managing money, but because they're not prepared to do everything by the book.
I ain't mad at the game. They just playing a better game. Listen, one thing I learned is the more money you got, the more you can play the game on a higher level. The more advantages and cheat codes you can take care of. And cheat codes aren't in like, oh, they're taking advantage of the system. No, it's just the higher you go, the more you need to know. So you can protect your money, protect your assets, and continue to live the lifestyle that you want to live.
Amazon paid $0 in taxes.
You see, Bezos is donating to Australia for the wildfires. He donated $690,000.
Bezos didn't have to donate anything. He could have like, you know what? All right, we send him the best. We can run a fund. He could do a GoFundMe on his Twitter or his Facebook, whatever it may be. His YouTube channel, if he got one. And could donate money that way. He didn't have to donate. But there's probably a nice tax incentive for him to get it away. And there's also brownie points for whatever connection you get. It's all about networking.
Average of $200 million per day.
Yeah.
We put out a whole press release.
Are you counting all that man money?
I actually sell on Amazon, so
Hey.
Amazon FBA. He's provided an opportunity
Shout out
for
to
people
Melissa.
like me to make a living for myself,
Yeah,
to be
you're
able
a
to start a
boss in
business, online, and to be able to make internet money. So like to have that freedom and like, whether we think that he needs to give more or not, I mean, that's really up to him what he does with his.
This is on Amazon, doing Amazon via FBA. They make a lot of money, and you know what you're doing. So there are a lot of millionaires who use Amazon. Like, shout out to the companies that allow you to use their money, use their platform, whatever that may be, eBay, Amazon, Walmart shopping. I know Target may have got something like Walmart where you can do e-commerce. Like, it made a lot of people 6-7 figures. Like, yo, I'm all for it, man. On something because I can. Yeah. Wait a minute, is that gold?
Mercedes. It was like a 90 grand car and he added like a 200 grand car. And I'm like, why'd you do that? Like, you don't need to do that. He's like, well, I mean, I could, so why not? Like, I want to, it's fun.
You got the funds, do what you want.
I've realized so many times that every time I hit the goal or the destination or the target, I realized that the journey was so much more fun. And as I've achieved more success and built more companies, it's almost every time now where I get there and I'm like, man, the journey was actually funner than the destination.
After you hit the goal a couple times, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you hit the goal a couple times, and I could see that.
Yeah, because like I used to buy a lot of bags. I'm not even gonna lie. Like, and then once I got there, it was kind of like, I don't have
I got it right.
kids. What am I doing?
But the question wasn't like, what do you think of
Tim, let her live, please. Tim's like, oh, well, the question was, Tim, let her live, my boy. Let her live.
about material possessions now? Like, I'll change. I don't need them. But in the past,
That's what people with money say. Experience, if you've lived in a 6, 7, 8 figure household, and that's the lifestyle you use compared to somebody who's used to making 20 to 30K a year, you got a different perspective. Like, yo, I never experienced that before. I think everybody should have or try to have a well-rounded perspective of the world around them. And the only way I can think of is like, just go to different events that you normally wouldn't go to, talk to different people, join meetups, play different sports with different people, just learn about people in general. And when you talk to different people and learn about different people, you're learning new stories or new worlds that you never experienced before.
Inequality is definitely not a problem. Like, a homeless person has rose to fame overnight. I mean, if we're talking about inequality, like with like the country, yeah, like, that exists. But to become successful, inequality is not a problem. Anyone can make it.
At least here, you can put in the work, you can put in the time, you can grind, you can just one thing I can say about America is when you put in the work, you put in the time, you can hear, you put in the work, and everybody here likes a good underdog comeback story. Like everybody loves that. If you come from money, it's like, okay. But if you like, yo, man, I used to work at this fast food restaurant, working 2 or 3 jobs, and going to night school, and being a first time father, and but like people like those stories because it takes a level of grit and tenacity to get to that level. So I feel you on that.
When you look at
I don't disagree with that, yeah.
statistics, though, I think it's definitely doable. Like anybody can do it, but we still are in a day and an age where it's still not that common in the grand scheme of things. Like
The thing is, though, the crazy thing is you put all this work and still fail. Now, I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. I'm saying sugarcoat like, oh yeah, all of us can leave our dreams, and yeah. But a lot of people don't try. That's the biggest thing. I know that was one of my biggest things. Like you don't try to go after your goals. You don't try to go after your dreams. Like I'm a big advocate for going after your dreams. I ain't gonna stop until I'm in the ground. I ain't gonna stop until I'm in the ground. Because it's something just obsessive inside me just keeps pushing me to keep going. I mean, even again, like she said, her man grew up in a bad neighborhood, but now he's where he's at now. That's the American dream. Go from where you used to be to where you want to be.
And you guys are all white. And then like growing up,
Tell me like,
great classroom, when I say, show me a millionaire, you say Apple, Amazon, Timothy Sykes, he's rich. And then you're like, okay, show me somebody black, show me somebody Asian, show me somebody Spanish.
yeah, you need that representation. Because that reputation, like I said before, is like, I need somebody to look up to. I don't need to be you don't need to be my mentor, but it's like, oh, they look like me. They can do it. Then maybe I can do it. I may not reach their level, or I may rise above them or be at the same level, or I'm gonna be just like them. But it's like you need that representation to say, okay, for that small kid or for whoever's watching, like, yo, it's possible.
Be like,
it's very
Michael
limited, right?
Jordan.
It's extremely limited.
They don't know.
Because having more examples pushes down the envelope of new entrepreneurs and successful people, but it also allows creativity and pushes the boundaries for new technology and business and drives competition, aka capitalism. If we're all just a bare minimum, we're not growing. If we're all just a bare minimum and just doing what we can to get by, we're not changing the world. You're just maintaining. And the one thing I learned about life is you can't maintain change. Oh boy, that's wisdom right here.